Alright everybody, hello and welcome as always. I am Sean. This is In The Mixer as we continue our Hashtag United series in Football Manager 2019, episode 57. We are rocketing through them. While there's a whole lot of channels that are kind of finishing up their content for the year, given how much time I took off to go and coach that real life side, I probably will continue to play the game right up until the release of FM20. But fingers crossed it coincides with us finishing either this season or the next season once that beta drops and is released. Carrying on from the last episode where we recorded our first episode on our desktop computer, I of course wore the Hashtag United kit, which is just a green screen nightmare. And there are a couple of audio issues with it, but I'll continue working through that stuff. You can have the best tools in the world, but if you give them to an idiot, an idiot's still going to make bad content. So I'm going to continue working to get better and continue to improve the quality on that side. Of course, in the last episode, we played two big games. A 2-0 defeat against Chelsea at the Emirates Stadium, and then a 1-1 draw. Benny Mulgard getting the late equaliser for us against league-leading Chelsea at the time. We then followed up with a 3-2 defeat against Newcastle. This time we had our hearts broken in the 91st minute. Lilian Figueroa getting the winner there. Then had a decent run of little form there. A 1-0 win against Huddersfield despite going down to 10 men. Jan Kolbas getting sent off. A good 1-0 win against Norwich and a 3-1 win against Crystal Palace in the Battle of Selhurst Park. And then we went on a tough little run here, mainly because we had a couple of different people out and international call-ups and a whole bunch of other stuff, but a 1-0 defeat at home to Burnley, a 3-1 defeat to Manchester United, who are a very good side, a 2-1 defeat to Southampton, who we just can't seem to get past at any point, Henricus later with a late winner there to see them over the line, a 1-1 draw against Stoke in a tightly fought contest, and then a 1-1 draw with Tottenham, who are the reigning defending champions in the Premier League. We were excellent in this game. It was only through a 90 plus 4th minute equaliser that they actually got back into it. They did have some massive chances. I think they hit the crossbar and the post during the game as well, but we did very well, so I think a late equaliser was probably a fair result on the balance of play. We then rotated quite a bit for our FA Cup game. We lost in the third round to Middlesbrough. I'm not too worried about that. I'm mainly focusing on our Premier League finish and where we're at in that division. And then we turned around, got a much needed win again, a 3-1 victory over Leicester at Selhurst Park, before a 1-1 draw against Bournemouth, who are a bit of a bogey team for us. Benny Mulgard again coming off the bench and grabbing an equaliser for us in that one. It does mean we're currently sitting 11th in the Premier League, so we're not doing too badly, definitely much improved on last season. However, a good string of results can push us up as high as 6th or 7th. We're not miles away from all these teams. But we do need to get more consistency. You can see there's little patches of green, little patches of red, little patches of orange for draws. So we really need to put on a strong showing in the second half of the season, start to put a good run of form together, and hopefully pick up enough points to continue our climb up the table. I don't think we're in, touch whatever wood happens to be near you, I don't think we're in relegation trouble in any way. We are currently 12 points clear of Norwich, who are in 18th spot. So I think we're in a good place there. There's probably 4 teams, maybe 5 if you include Burnley, that are battling it out and swapping positions each week. At the top of the division, very, very tight. Manchester United have only played 22 games, so they could potentially go top to 53 points. But between 1st and 5th positions, there are only 2 points separating each team as it currently stands. Southampton in that are on 50 points. They're in 4th spot. They've played 24 games. Chelsea, Tottenham, and Manchester City have played 23. So super tight there. Those spaces in the Champions League are kind of rotating on a weekly basis, and whoever's top is currently rotating on a weekly basis as well. We'll play one of those teams in this episode, Manchester City. That's going to be our next game after we play Swansea. But we do have a little bit of squad news as well. Unfortunately, Asa O'Connell was having an excellent season for us. Leicester have paid his £8 million release clause. He hit that value, and before I could get him to sign a new contract, he wasn't super interested in signing a new contract, to be honest. They came in and offered him pretty much double his wages that he was on previously, so he's gone across to there. But we have been able to get back out into the transfer market, and 2 players have come in. I did mention in the last episode that I wasn't entirely happy with the right back spot, and we brought in Eric Rapp, who is a young German youth international, capped at under 20 level. He's already 3.5 star current ability, 5 star potential, only 18 years old. We've picked him up from VfB Stuttgart, where he'd already made 28 league appearances for the senior side. He's been excellent for us since he came in, definitely helped us improve quite a bit. He did get sent off in his last appearance, so he's likely to miss the game today, and I think he's potentially going to miss the game against Manchester City as well. So you won't see him in this episode, but he is a quality player. And then the other one that we picked up is Jan Sigrist, a direct replacement pretty much for Asa O'Connell, young Swiss international, already 4 caps and 3 international goals to his name, 3.5-star current ability, 5-star potential. He's an advanced forward similar to George Sosa, so we're working George Sosa a little bit differently as a pressing forward, but 17 finishing is excellent, 19 determination is phenomenal. Really hoping to see him actually make good on his potential. And as far as Wonder Kid watch goes, we have currently 5 Wonder Kids in the squad. The 2 that have updated to that status are one, Carlos Navarro, who's currently away with the Colombian under-23 side. He's continued to be excellent. He has played at a couple of different clubs, but since making the jump across to Premier League football, has really improved in leaps and bounds. And the other one is Nazim Akanovic. Now, I actually wasn't playing him all that much, so this is pretty much just from his international appearances. Since he moved to that status, we've been trying to play him a little bit more alongside Ahmed Kwakwa in midfield or Kolbas, depending on injury and form and fitness and international call-ups, and he's progressing fantastically. Still only 18, already 17 Bosnian caps to his name, 4-star current ability, 5-star potential, growing at a rapid rate. So I'm pretty happy with the squad. I'm happy with the ages of a lot of the group. We may potentially look at like this bottom 5 that are all 20 and above, maybe replacing them during the off-season if there are high potential youngsters on the market. But in reality, I'm happy to continue developing this group of 22 as much as we can, giving them as much game time as possible and continuing to push them to become like a proper Premier League side that we can keep together. As you can see, we are currently pretty deep into an injury crisis. Kohlenberg's out 5 to 8 months. He's done his ACL. Akanovic is still out for a couple more weeks after sprained knee ligaments. Zivanovic is out for a while. He's been out for a little while already. Rapp is, of course, suspended, and Sigris has yet to make an appearance for the club. He's out with a twisted ankle for another 9 days to 3 weeks. Sosa's away with the Uruguay under-23 squad doing their Olympic qualification. Navarro's away with the Colombian under-23 squad doing their qualification as well. So it's a very threadbare squad going into this game against Swansea, but we should still have enough about us to get beyond them. And what I do love when you look at this group is that we're kind of like the United Nations. There are literally, I think, 24 different nations represented in the squad itself. We've got to keep an English core there because, obviously we need to have players that have been trained within the country for that period of time, but there's a lot of players here as well because of their young age. They are very much going to hit that marker very quickly as being trained at our club and trained within the team before the age of 21. But more than enough talking from me, we're going to jump into the game against Swansea and have a look at the 2 lineups now. So it looks like they are playing a 4-4-1-1 shape. They've probably got the most of any team in the division in terms of real-life players still playing. Anderson, an ex-Man City goalkeeper. Looks like Beck's an ex-Brentford defender alongside Wood. Pugmall is, I'm butchering that pronunciation, but he's an ex-Manchester United junior. And Chu alongside them as well. I'm not familiar with him. Danish international, so he's wearing a Michelin kit. Otherwise, some good regen players. Laliva is their best player. He's a French left winger, 21 years old. Looks quality, but again, Swansea have yo-yoed between like championship level and Premier League level for quite a few seasons now, and they're back down towards the relegation spots now, so we should win. Passionately, we're going to say, I know we're underdogs here. Nobody seems to care, so let's just do the old I've faith in you and see if anybody responds positively. We have got a few out. We are in okay-ish form. I'd love to get 3 points to continue our growth up the table, and then it takes a little bit of the pressure off of that Man City game in a few days' time. Wood with a deep free kick, first highlight of the game. It's well recovered by Graydon. Mulgard and potentially Sanchez could get forward. Instead, Betch cuts it out well. Long ball forward towards Kupic, who goes back to Pat Nummer in goal. Just need to pick the right pass. Instead, he goes long down the middle. Mulgard will challenge. Heads it down well for Greshey. Greshey inside to Kwakwa, who's making his return from injury after a fair stint out. Berger with the deep ball across. Downing was in the area, but the left back? Who was that? Number 19, Mia, hooks it away. Short corner taken by Downing. It's a deep ball across towards Kupic, but he's had it only just over the crossbar. And in reality, I think the keeper was there and had it covered. Anderson now with, I think, a ball from an offside call. Good winner by Kupic. Sanchez brings it down in midfield. Looks for a switch that probably wasn't on, but thankfully it falls back to Kolbas again. Back to Langford. Long ball forward. Mia heads it forward, but only as far as Sanchez. Mulgard could have maybe gone himself, but the pass is cut out by Carpenter. Kupic again with an excellent header, out wide to Downing. It's Sanchez again, reverse pass to Mulgard at the top of the box, and that is a fantastic finish from Benny Mulgard. He's scored 3 goals this season. 2 of them have been 90th minute winners. The other one is that one in this episode. Maybe I should be playing him more than he actually is. Downing with a good ball forward here, just inside to Sanchez. Sanchez holds it up well, finds the reverse pass. Mulgard just gets it out from under himself and then smacks that one into the top corner. It is an excellent, excellent goal. And the Liberty Stadium looks fantastic in 3D with this new graphics card that we've got. Got another highlight here. It's going to come to Berger. Quackwar. Square to Colbass. We've got a 2v1 here if we can find it. Downing on the other side, and he had more time than he took. And both strikes, the keeper did very well to push it around the post. Shouts, we're going to demand more. Quackwar, short corner to Downing. Can he make it a decent cross? It's a deep one in. Harvey clears it away. Falls to Greshey. Gets his strike away, but it was a pretty tame effort, and Anderson holds. Their first highlight, Pugmill to take a free kick from distance. Never really looked like trouble in the goalkeeper. It was always over the crossbar, and that takes us through to half-time. So they've had 6 shots, 1 on target, 39% possession. We've had 11, 6 and 61%. A couple of highlights apiece, and we're going to passionately say, I'm happy with your performance, keep it up. Just trying to keep that morale heading in that northerly direction. And we kick off the second half. As we always do, we'll give it another 15 minutes, and then we'll have a look at a couple of different subs, who we might bring on, who's picked up yellow cards, whose form and fitness is struggling a little bit. We're a little bit limited in what we can do from a substitution perspective, so we're just going to bring on Maguire for Langford, who's been the worst of our defenders so far, and we're also going to bring on Joe Carter for Greshey on that left wing, just because he hasn't played that well. 60 minutes gone, we're going to use our Get Creative shout, Old Faithful. They've immediately got a highlight. This could be a disaster. It's a ball forward, it's a decent header, but never really looked like it was worrying Padanama all that much. And we either need to find another gear and get ourselves that second goal to secure this victory, or we need to kind of shut down shop a little bit and minimise their opportunities. Throw-in going to start with Berger. We're into the last 10 minutes now. Carter back to Berger, back to Carter again. They're just keeping the ball in the corner down there. Wasn't a whole lot of pressing going on, so we didn't need to force that pass over. Beck with the long ball forward. Good win by Kupic. Falls to Douse, who skips past a couple of challenges and then finishes near post. Jasper Douse, his first goal of the season. Very disappointing. He just kind of walked around in a semicircle and nobody went out to him to make the tackle. See the long ball forward here. Kupic does well to win his header, but then Pugmall knocks it down to Douse. Steps around the fresh sub Maguire without any challenge, and he pokes it home at near post. It'd be very frustrating if we don't manage to secure the 3 points in this game. Get creative. Let's try that again and see. Okay, everyone seems inspired by it. There's 4 minutes additional time, but we've rocketed through that time. And I dare say this is just going to be the final whistle. Very disappointing, actually. They only really had... They had 2 highlights. I think one was the goal and the other one was a free kick from distance. I'm going to say I'm far from pleased because we were in a winning position. We were on top statistically, and you've got to be able to see out games like that. So not a great result at all. Denied by a late goal. Benny Mulgard got an 8.3 rating, and the match, or the man of the match award, I should say. Let's actually go and tell him he did well. Superb in front of goal, Ben. And post-match press conference. Let's actually do this one because I haven't done one in forever. Not too disheartened. Other teams are going to drop points, blah, blah, blah. Everybody wants new deals for their clients, which is ridiculous. Greshey, wasn't he substituted on a 6.6 in like the 50th minute? It's a weird time to come and ask for a contract. So let's just ask him to sack his agent. Okay, he's not going to sack him, whatever, that's fine. So a huge fixture now against Manchester City. It does see us stay in 11th spot. But we're having now played 25 games. Stoke have 2 games in hand, and a good few of these teams below us have games in hand as well. So we don't want to risk falling back down into 13th, 14th. We need to try and get some sort of points against Manchester City. Scupper their title a little bit, but help ourselves jump right back up the table towards that 33-point mark that Watford's currently sitting on in 9th. Magic of editing though, we're going to jump ahead to that game now. Right, so just like that, we're about a week forward. They are playing a 4-2-3-1 with 2 deep midfielders, which we haven't come up against that much this season. We've got this guy, Claudio Gomez, who's actually come through their youth system. 31-year-old Frenchman, no international appearances, but he looks like he's a decent player. So, Manchester City, weird... Oh, actually, no, they got rid of him. So, are these loan signings, or did he actually leave? So, it looks like they were loaning him out for a good few seasons. Then he went to Everton for $13.75 million. Then he went to Paris Saint-Germain for $39.5, and then he's come back this season for £24 million. So more than they sold him for. Took him forever to make a first-team appearance, but oh well, good for them, I guess. Finally bringing through some of their own talent. Maybe that's why they bought him, because he would have counted as a homegrown player. But these guys have some phenomenal talents. Klomp here is an ex-Golden Boy Award winner. 19 acceleration and agility is phenomenal. 18 pace, like just elite striker pretty much sums him up. 25-year-old Dutch international. 40 goals and 50 caps, that's a pretty phenomenal return rate from him. And on 240k a week, which is more than our entire squad weekly budget. Irby's, their captain and their star player, is actually a central midfielder that they're playing in defence at the moment. Likely as a ball-playing defender. Argentine international. Also looks phenomenal. World-class midfielder. And the other one, Kevin, who plays at the number 10, 27-year-old Brazilian. He's been around for a while and he's quite good. either footed, phenomenal technique, phenomenal mental attributes. Like, they've got some very, very good players. And of course, with things so tight at the top, they're going to expect to beat us here. Assertively, we're going to say we're huge underdogs. That suits us down to the ground. They've responded well. Let's also talk to the forwards and say, I think there's a lot more to come from them. And really, like, we're against it here, even though we are at home. We've been okay in a couple of the games against higher opposition. Like, we drew with Chelsea, which you guys saw in the last episode, but Manchester United pummeled us. And Robert Herbers, we spoke about him in the build-up, has put them up in the second minute from a set-piece situation. We have been a lot better from our set pieces. Since we went back and kind of fixed up after changing tactics and changing our structure a bit, our set piece instructions, we have been a lot better. I know that doesn't really, that last highlight, that goal conceded doesn't really flow into that, but trust me, just trust me on it, we've been better. So looking around the grounds at the other results as well, if we bring up England here, that would take Manchester City top, but Tottenham is still drawing with Southampton. That's a huge fixture. And Manchester United are already pummeling Brentford 3-0. Kevin with a deep free kick again, very similar to the first goal. Greshey with a good tackle, but it falls to Krstić. Irby's again with the header, and it hits the bottom of the post before Pat Narmer does very well to come out and claim the rebound. Right, we get through to half-time. It's still 1-0. We haven't had a highlight our way yet. We've had 3 shots, but none on target. 38% possession. They've had 5, 4, and 62, which is very much the way that they're set up. They're managed by Massimiliano Allegri, not Pep Guardiola. He leaves very quickly in the game if you've played through your own series. Passionately, I don't think any of you played as well as you're capable of. A few have responded positively. Let's also do the same and tell everyone up front to go out there and show everyone what you're made of. What's hurting us at the moment with these international call-ups, these injuries, just the depth off the bench. We don't have every position covered, so certain players are currently getting 90 minutes regardless of what happens. And I think that does spark a bit of complacency in certain people if they don't see an active replacement on the bench. They don't necessarily think, I'm going to come off at any minute now and I need to play to my best ability. They've got a corner here, Martinez to take, short to Peter Santiago. Strike from distance, was curling back towards goal, but Pat Narmer was in good position to actually deal with it. They've got another corner. I'm just going to wait to see how this plays out, and then we're going to look at our subs. It's a deep cross across. That's not good English, but you know what I mean. I know I always get myself in trouble by doing it, but we're going to go with 3 subs. We're going to bring on Maguire in midfield just because it looked like Kwakwa was struggling with both fitness, form, and a yellow card, which will see Colbass move to the box-to-box role. Kolar will come on at the back for Kupic, who's struggling, and Carter will come on for Greshey, just some fresh legs out in the wide area. And we're also going to use our Get Creative shout. Everyone seems inspired. They've immediately got a highlight. It's a short corner again. Back to Martinez, who took the corner. Crossfield ball towards Lorenzini. He continues it out to Irbies. They are moving backwards, which is good. If we can recover possession in this area. Instead, they've moved forward. Krstić finds Klomp. Reverse pass to Kevin. It's an excellent, well-worked goal. They moved the ball back to trick us into coming out a little bit further, and then they played it back in. A quick interchange there between Klomp and Kevin, and it's a good finish low and hard across the keeper. Lorenzini here, back heels to Krstić. Krstić just finds Klomp, and then Klomp's reverse pass inside. Kevin with the first time finish. It's a good goal. Take nothing away from them, but they're a good team, and I think it goes to show like how far we are actually from that level. So would see us drop down to 12th position, Stoke going above us, and they've scored a third. Halil Ibrahim, his first goal of the season. It's his debut? No, he's a 30-year-old Turkish international with 110 caps, so he just mustn't get forward that much. And it's been a lot of set-piece situations where they've torn us apart here. Martinez with an excellent ball, and Ibrahim is allowed to drop it down onto his left foot. He's a right-footed player, so that's even more disappointing. And put that one past the goalkeeper. 80th minute, going to demand more. Paulo Ruggiero to take a short free kick here. Forward to Irbies, out to the goal scorer, Ibrahim. Back to Martinez. Inside to Gomez. They're keeping the ball very well. Ibrahim moves forward now. Back to Peter Santiago at the base of midfield. Forward to Kevin. To Reish now. Into Klomp, who hasn't troubled us yet, but is probably about to put one in the back of the net. No, it's instead Jose Antonio Martinez with his 10th goal of the season. And Klomp with another assist. Looked like a good goal. Let's see if the keeper could have done better. Klomp again, just excellent hold-up play. Plays it inside to Martinez, takes a touch on his left peg. Yeah, maybe Pat Narmer could have done better, but it's hard to be that much against Pat Narmer given how good he's been for us this season. And we are 4-0 down. This will be the heaviest defeat we've had so far this season, which is disappointing that it's finally when you guys are here and watching. Kevin now with a strike from distance. He gets it on target, and thankfully Pat Narmer comes back out and claims the rebound as well. 3 minutes to be added on. We're already through 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Is there going to be any late drama here? It's a flick on header towards Joe Carter. He lets it run out of play. And I dare say the referee, once they take this throw, is about to call full time. He does not. I thought he did, because everyone started walking away, but the ball's still going. Martinez to Carter. Carter gives away a free kick. Surely this will be the last portion of the highlight. It is. As soon as Martinez took that free kick, it was called full time. So 5 shots, 1 on target, 39% possession. 12 shots, 10 on target, 61%. We're just in the weirdest area right now where we're doing okay in the games against the teams below us, and that's where we're picking up points and why we're doing better this season. But we're really struggling against the top sides, which is, maybe the tactical tweak. I should have another version, which is like our cautious away mentality or our cautious at-home mentality when we're playing top-level sides. But then every now and then, we get a good result where, we'll draw with Chelsea, like you guys saw in the last episode. We'll draw with Tottenham. That's the frustration, is that it ebbs and flows quite a bit. But that 4-0 defeat, our heaviest defeat of the season so far. So we have definitely improved and taken steps forward. It's just going to be about how, going into season 15, how can we make the right signings? How can we change our tactics just a little bit to take us up to that next level and make us like a proper top 10, hopefully eventually top 6 side. Manchester City go top of the Premier League with that 4-0 win. Urbes, who, despite playing midfield, gets the Man of the Match award and a 9.1 rating. I didn't know we were on an unbeaten run before that. 5 games without defeat before that defeat against Manchester City. But you can see there's 4 draws in that period, so it's not exactly like a winning run or anything like that. French boss Heiko Herrlich was looking at Jeremy Berger for his next French squad, which would be a massive boom for him. And you can see he's moved to 4.5 star in the team. He's definitely the best player that we've got at the moment. Picked him up for £40 million from relegated West Ham last season, and he's really gone on to bigger and better things. Good news is we do get Eric Rapp back. We should hopefully get Carlos Navarro and George Sosa back for the next game as well. So we are going to get a little bit of depth. But what I'm thinking is, because we're in this weird spot where we're not going to get relegated and we're also not really going to challenge for promotion or the top 6 spots, we might jump forward to the end of the season in the next episode. So I'll jump forward, I'll play these games here. We'll do the game against Norwich, the game against Crystal Palace to finish the season, see where we end up. And I suppose it's also good to have the Crystal Palace Selhurst Park derby game away. It will be the last game that we likely play at Selhurst Park, because hopefully in the next season our stadium is finished. And at the start of season 15, we'll get to go through, introduce the new squad, and maybe play the first game in that stadium as well. So that's where I'm thinking, that's what I'm going to do. As always though, guys, thank you so much for watching. That's the part that means the most to me. Feel free to subscribe to the channel if I can remember how to say the word, to be kept up to date on videos as they're released. You can also follow _FM on Twitter to be kept up to date to all our interactions with the FM20 community, as well as the build and hype train for FM20 once that beta version is released. But as always, I've been Sean, this has been In The Mixer, and don't you ever forget, even now in times of need when we aren't doing that well, to hashtag it.